Okay, so we are on day 10 and things are going well. We're going to candle and see how far along these eggs have gotten. The main thing is that we could still see the air cell on this side is getting smaller. The webbing is getting more complex and it's not showing up as good on the camera, but there's a larger dark spot. That's where the chicken actually is. So I find some good ones. Here we go. So here you can see the chicken is flailing around in there in the fluid sac. We've got the air cell shrinking on the top there, which is good. Obviously we've got good activity in the shell, so we know. You can see both my hands are not moving at all. Yet there's a lot of activity in that shell there, so that's a good sign. Here's another one. This is in like a brown shell. You can see it just kind of swimming around in there. That little dark spot, that's the head. And here's a good example of why you don't want to throw out an egg. This is one that I had marked with a circle because it didn't look like it was developing quite right. But there inside we see the webbing, and we could see a little chicken head swimming around in there. So there's a freebie. So there's a couple other ones that I had that were question marks. So hopefully we get favorable news on those as well. So I'm going to just hurry up and run through these eggs. Here's another one that I had a marking with a question mark. Couldn't tell if it was developing or not at day 5. Here we see nice veins in there. Let's see if we can find the embryo. There's the embryo right there. Just dancing around. So there's 2 that thought maybe weren't going to be developed. So this one here, this is one that doesn't look like it was fertilized or never developed. So it looks like there's the yolk in there. You see that the air bubble just keeps moving around. So this one will take out. I'll crack it open, take a look at it. This is the other one, the other egg that I thought was a halo egg. It wasn't showing much development, and it's proving to be the standard quitter. So there's no webbing going on, no embryo swimming around in there. So this one, we'll pull this one out of here too. Okay, so I went through all 41 eggs here, and there were 5 of them that had marks that were questionable or didn't look like it was developing. And of those 5, 2 of them actually are showing an embryo developing in there. And here's the last egg want to show you this one because he's pretty active in there. So I was trying to pick it up on camera. You can see all that jiggling around, shifting around. So you can see from last time, you could hardly tell that there was much of anything in there at 5 days. Here we are, 5 more days, and you can see something jumping around, shifting around, swimming almost inside. We've got a complex web of blood vessels in there. And you see that the air sac is continuing to decrease. Now what will eventually happen is they'll absorb these liquids into themselves as they grow, and then this air sac on the end is what they'll break through the membrane, and this is what they'll breathe for the first few hours of the hatching process before they pip and crack through the shell itself, and then they'll breathe the external air. So you want to see this continue to grow, this air sac continue to grow, but you also want to see that there's plenty of liquid in there for them to move around and maneuver. And so that's day 10, and the next plan is going to be where we go to lockdown on day 18. We'll have to seal this up a little bit tighter. We'll raise the humidity up into the mid 70s, or between 65 and like 80 or so %. So what I'll do then is I will unscrew the mason jar lids and access the water that's in those. We've been using those as a heat sink to keep the temperature up, and then they're going to turn into, as soon as we take those lids off, they'll turn into additional humidity, and then I actually will take them off of the turning table, and I'll flip that mesh box upside down and set the eggs in there on their side, and we'll see them hatch out here in about a week and a half. So looking forward to seeing that. Okay, so it's the following day from when I candled these eggs, and I wanted to go ahead and crack them open so you guys can see. Both of these two were ones that didn't have any development that we could see, so I want to see if they're even fertilized at all. And then this one over here is the one that had started and then it quit, so there should just be like a few blood vessels in that one. So let's crack it open and see what we got. Okay, so that yolk was not together, so it's going to be really tough, and that was probably because of the temperature. Won't be able to really tell if there was any kind of penetration of sperm into the yolk like you'd normally be able to see. I'm sure this one's probably going to be the same situation, but we'll check. Let's see, keep this one in the shell if I can. There we go. So that one at least didn't fall all apart. Usually what you'd see is just a small little like bullseye mark on the yolk, and that'll give an indication that it has been fertilized. Usually that'll be on top. I don't see that on this one. Doesn't mean it's not fertilized, but at the very least we could see that it didn't develop at all for whatever reason. Now here's one that was marked as a quitter, is what we call them, or I call them, where it started developing something and then for whatever reason, oh, it squirted out, whatever reason just stopped developing. So this one you can see it's a little bit more cohesive, and there's some blood vessels that were starting to form but just didn't end up doing anything for whatever reason. So I usually do the same thing with late quitters too, like even ones that are 10 days or whatever, just educational purpose, just to see what's going on in there and how far along they were when they developed. You don't like hearing about that? Let's check in on Asher here. Asher. Asher. Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're making noise. Can you stand up? Stand up for everybody. You just want to make noise? Okay, well, he is just not happy for whatever reason. He just ate. Just woke up from a nap. You need a clean diaper? Huh? Yeah? What else? Alright, well, I'm gonna wash my hands and then change his diaper here. Hi. Smile for the camera. Good bite. Is that good? So this little girl here showed up about 3 months ago and couldn't get close to her, didn't know if she had been spayed or not. And today, I mean, we knew she was pregnant recently, but she had her litter today, and there seems to be 3 little kittens in there, and she's so far seems to be doing well and not freaking out about me being around her. So when she first showed up, she wouldn't even come within 50 feet of me, and by the time we got her close or to where we could actually pet her and handle her and things like that, she was already pregnant. So the plan is we'll get her spayed after this pregnancy here, and hopefully we can keep her away from the boys between now and then.